What's going on, guys? It's Keefe. In today's video, I want to go over the most important question you can ask yourself. This question can be the difference between success and failure, between happiness and depression, so it is a seriously important question for you to ask yourself. Now, before we get into that, if you're a guy who's out there who's looking to improve his life in any way, hit the bell icon and subscribe button so you don't miss my new videos. I put out new videos every single day to help guys like you create your ideal lives. So let's get into it. All right, guys, so this question that you need to be asking yourself is, what would happen if I actually did the things that I knew I was supposed to be doing? And another way to ask this could be, just how great could I be if I actually did those things that I knew would get me ahead? That's two different ways you can ask this question. This is an important question, guys, because you can think about your life and say, like, how many times during my day do I do things I know I shouldn't do? It could be small things, like maybe you got to go to the grocery store because you don't have any food at your house, but you don't feel like going to the grocery store. So then you get home from work and you're tired and you see there's no food in the pantry or in the fridge. And so you end up ordering food to the house and you end up spending like an extra $8 on food to get it to the house, whereas you could have had the food here that would have been healthier probably and gotten you better results. So now you've spent more money and you probably haven't gotten something as healthy. Another example, maybe you've got like a bill that you need to pay, but you're not opening up your bills because you don't want to confront them. And then you open it up and find out that the bill's late and now you have some extra late fee tacked onto the bill. Now, these are small things, guys, but obviously you can see that, like, perhaps not doing what you should be doing on a consistent basis starts costing you more money, and maybe it's costing you more time because, like, maybe you don't have the clean dishes or the the groceries to eat or whatever, so you have to waste more time going to deal with this when you should be focusing on something else. And these are just small things, but what happens if it's something big, like perhaps betraying a friend's trust, or maybe you're failing to have an aim for your future, so you're very stagnant and you're not getting ahead anywhere in life? Or even if you do have an aim for the future, perhaps you're not taking the necessary steps in between so that you can get to that future aim, and you're just hoping it comes to you and you're not really taking action. Maybe you've got like a plan for a business, but you're not looking at the details of building the business and truly doing what you know you should do. You're kind of just hoping it falls in your lap. Now, in all these things, guys, you'll see that there were actions you could have taken that would have given you a different result. They would have gotten you what you were looking for, but you just had to do the things you knew you were supposed to do. Like if you had the groceries at the house already, you'd already have that to eat. Or if you had done the right thing and not betrayed a friend's trust, you wouldn't have lost the friend, which who knows how that type of thing permeates throughout the rest of your life and other people's lives, because you're so interconnected to other people that when you make a bad decision, it has negative impacts on other people as well. Now, the thing, guys, is the more you dial in on your conscience, that voice in your head, the more you'll start to realize that it will tell you when you're not doing the right thing. Now, it is important to understand that that conscience can also be misinterpreted for that guilty voice that makes you feel bad about everything you're doing and stuff, and it's not that. You can tell that like more subtle kind of voice that tells you the right actions to be taking. It's the one that understands like the moral truths and, you know, I should be prepared for this, or I should make this decision instead of this decision. I shouldn't lie. I should tell the truth because the truth always works out in the end. The more you dial in on that voice, the more you can get clear on it, and the more you can start doing the things you know you should be doing. And since they're within your control, again, the question becomes, just how great could I become if I was really doing the things that I know I'm supposed to be doing? This not only applies to your entire life, but it also applies to specific areas of your life. Again, you could ask the question, like I might ask the question, just how great of a YouTuber could I be if I committed completely to that aim and I stopped doing the things that I knew weren't helping me with that? Or maybe you're a student athlete. Just how great of an athlete could I be if I committed completely to that ideal? Or maybe you're in college and you just want to get really good grades. And you're like, just how great of a student could I be so I could get into med school or whatever it is if I truly committed to that task and stopped doing the things that I knew were not helping me get there? So in order to ask this first question, guys, the question of just how great could I be if I did this thing, just how great of a YouTuber could I be, just how great of a day trader could I be, just how great of a father could I be, these kinds of questions. In order to ask them, you have to have a clear understanding of what that ideal is, what that greatness looks like to you. Now, most people aren't clear on this because oftentimes they're so aware of how short they come up of that ideal, so they don't really want to think about the ideal because they're like, man, like I'm really fucking all these things up, right? This is a lot of times why people who are kind of failures tend to resent successful people, because their failure is highlighted by the other person's success. Another part of this is that we lack the confidence to believe that we could truly attain that ideal thing. But again, the question becomes, just how great could you be if you did the things you knew you were supposed to be doing and stopped doing the things you knew you weren't supposed to be doing? So the confidence really just comes from that, from recognizing how many things are within your power to change so that you can make the change in your life. And once you get clear on the fact that these things are within your power to change, you understand, like, I can do something about my situation, and you stop being a victim. But most people don't look at the fact that they have the power to control their situation because they just assume that it's outside of their control. And this exercise of asking, just how great could I be, it puts you in the position where you get to recognize where you're coming up short. And a lot of people don't want to deal with that, but the empowering thing is now you can make the change. You just have to be willing to do so. Guys, an exercise that I want you to start doing, I want you to do it right after this video, is get a piece of paper out and write down whatever an ideal for you is. It can be a general life ideal, it can be a specific area of your life, and I want you to write down what it is, get clear on it, and then I want you to ask yourself the question, like, where am I coming up short of this? What actions am I taking that are causing me to come up short of this? And you'll notice that conscience will start spitting out answers to you. After it gives you these answers, I want you to vow to make a change, and just do it for like a month or two. Commit to not doing the things that you know aren't helping you get where you want to get in life, and watch how once you get out of your own way, suddenly everything starts working for you. So a good example, we'll go back to the student athlete. Perhaps as an athlete, let's say you're a high school athlete and you want to go be a college athlete, like a college basketball player or something, and you ask yourself the question, so your ideal would be like D1 college basketball player, and then you ask yourself, just how great could I be of a basketball player if I did the things I knew I should be doing? And then you ask yourself, like, what am I doing that's holding me back from this? You ask that question, it'll start spitting out answers. Maybe it's like you shouldn't be drinking the night before a weekend tournament, or maybe you should lock in more on your diet, or maybe when you go to the basket, you get fouled really easily because you're just not very strong and you can't fight through contact, so you need to go hit the weight room. And you notice all these things where you've been neglecting the maximum potential that you have. Another one, maybe you want to get a new job that you like better, that pays better, and you could write that down as your ideal, the specifics you're looking for in the job. Maybe like pays twice as much in a career field I like. And people are like, oh, that's unrealistic. It's like, well, again, just how great could you be if you did what you said you need, if you did what you knew you were supposed to do? And then start writing down the places where you're coming up short. Maybe you haven't taken a look at like the job opportunities that are out there because you're too busy avoiding it because you feel like you're going to look like a failure when you do. Maybe you haven't looked at your resume or updated it at all. Maybe you need to get a specific skill out of the way, but you keep avoiding it. Or maybe you're just not even applying for jobs because you think it's hopeless. Whatever it is, start writing all these things down and vow to make a change on them and do what needs to be done, and watch how suddenly everything is within your grasp. You can do all these things. They're within your power to do, but you simply have to believe that you can do them. And the way you start to believe that you can do them is recognizing where it's your fault that you're not getting there. This personal responsibility thing is something that doesn't get preached in the world because it doesn't sell well, right? Like a politician can't get you to vote for them on personal responsibility, so they blame somebody else for all your issues. So like, I mean, this is life, right? We're trained from a very young age to not look at what we could do to change a situation, but start building the habit of looking at how you could make a change in your own situation. You'll realize how empowering that is and how optimistic that is, because you can do the right actions to get the right results to change your life. Guys, if you got something out of this video, I want you to give me a like so I can reach more guys through the algorithm. Hit the bell icon and subscribe button so you don't miss new videos, and leave me a comment and tell me one thing you're going to stop doing because you know it was holding you back from the person you wanted to be. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.